Hey everyone, it's the DNA Authority, and we will be live in about 10 seconds. We'll be right back.
And we are live. Thank you so very much for joining us tonight at the DNA Authority. I am Dolly Cortes.
And I'm Anita Myers. This is the DNA Authority. It's Wonder Woman Wednesday. And this is the show that's designed to get your mind to use all the powers within you while embracing all of the wonderful, amazing, powerful resources around you. And more than anything, I think this is such an exciting time for us in the world today where we are talking about the power of peace, peace, peace.
What kind of peas, Anita?
Green peas from Greenland.
Or not. Hey, we have Jen Healy here. Hi, Jen. Thank you so very much for joining us tonight. Thank you for taking time out of your schedule to be here with us. I think we have a great show scheduled for you. We do want to definitely address the wonderful word of peace and what peace means. Anita, do you have something on that?
We do.
Why peace? Why now, Anita?
Why peace? Why now? Well, boy, I'm going to say this. We need peace every single day of our lives. From the moment we are born, I actually mentioned this in a little talk I had with my power line group that I have. I don't know if any child is ever really born in a peaceful way. We're born from this wonderful, warm, and romantically lit place into the world where there's like crazy bright lights and people are touching it. It's really cold. We have a little bit of a battle of our own. And what happens to us? We are crying. Doctors want to hear us cry. All this stuff's taken out.
Slap you.
It's
slap you right
away.
away.
We went through abuse. So that was seriously not a peaceful experience. But then what happens after? By the grace of God, okay, we are given an opportunity to start feeling peace, where we start feeling settled in our way. So, I think that when we look at peace anytime in our lives, there's people that are experiencing a lot of frustration in the world outside of ourselves. Yes. And there's also times where I see where everything is peaceful outside. Everything is actually quite peaceful in your own environment, but you're living with it with no inner peace.
Right?
Been there? Have you seen that? Where everything actually, the sun's shining, beautiful rainbow outside because you just had a little bit of rain. It was just perfect, like so. And your friends are great and everything's great. But on the inside, you're just, a bit of a mess. You have no peace. So, I think
I've actually been there. I've been there. I've been there, not having peace. And to me, I'll tell you this, back in 2014, I decided that I needed it. And I chose some decisions. I made some very difficult decisions.
Yeah.
Because I was determined to have peace in my life. And oh my God, I'll never forget it. When I finally was able to accomplish that, I slept and slept and slept and slept for hours because I felt relaxed. I felt at peace. I finally felt this sense of tranquility that I did not have for a very long time.
That's a very good perspective to bring up right now because, I give a lot of metaphors when I talk with clients, when I try to share information to children and even people who are grown up that might not understand the consciousness of what I'm trying to say. So I use metaphors that are very easy for us to relate to. And I think about the metaphor that many of us grown-ups have at least at one point in our lives been there when you have food poisoning. Okay. There is no peace in food poisoning. No peace. Okay. So when you have food poisoning, what happened? Well, let's not discuss the details.
Oh,
You may have just had dinner, or maybe you're in the middle of dinner, but here's the thing. You feel really sick. You feel really bad. Your body's like, everybody out, right? The bouncer has said 86 the whole night, you're out. So there is no, let me just wait a little while. You're not well at all. And everything leaves you. Everybody leaves the party, the mosh party that was going on, because there were some thugs in there that did not need to be there. So now once that's done, and sometimes it takes a while. It takes a whole day for some people. Sometimes you're hospitalized. It could be really bad. But even in the smallest amount of time that happened, even if it was in 10, 15 minutes, you just want to rest. You just want to I've known that to happen to me, where all I want to do is sit on the couch and nobody talk to me. I feel horrible. I just want to stay quiet and let my body recover, and
yeah. And I mean, but that's with the physical issues, because food poisoning is more of a physical thing. When you have someone who's dealing with the emotional state of not having peace in their life, I mean,
that's where you find verbal diarrhea. Yeah, I said it.
She said it.
That's where breakdowns happen.
You're having dinner. I apologize.
I know. that's where breakdowns happen. That's where illness happens. It actually can manifest from being the spiritual, energetic, whatever feeling you're going through, and become a physical problem. If you harbor it so much inside, it's again, metaphorically speaking, you have dirt, you dust it underneath, the carpet. It's fine for a while. No one notices until there's this big lump under the carpet. And now you've got a big problem. You can't hide it. It's right there. So the thing about when it comes to things like COVID, when it comes to things where we can catch something that's physical, we can't see it. It's still intangible. We can't see it.
Right.
But it takes us over, and then physically we go through what we go through. Now imagine in the same token with emotional, me and the whole emotional thing, we don't always see it, but we feel it. And we kind of get the symptoms of it, but it's so amazing about how we are at the older we get. We deny it, we avoid it, we push it down, and we keep moving forward because this is what was taught to us.
Anita, it's because as the older we get, we just figure life happens. We just need to get to what we need to get to, and we don't have time for this crap. We just need to move on and not have to worry about anything else, and whether we're having a good day or not. If we need to go to work, we need to go to work. If we need to pay the bills, we need to pay the bills. It's just a matter of living day by day.
It's like shit or get off the pot, right?
Pretty much. Hey, but we have Sonia over here who is asking, so what would you define as peace? And
great question.
It is a great question, which brings me to a short quote that I found that I think would answer your question, Sonia. So
we're just going to let you do that. Well, that's fine.
I'm going to share.
I'll come back with mine later. That's fine.
Yeah, if you don't mind. So we're going to put this one up here. Can you see that? Okay. And it says, peace is not the absence of power. Peace is the presence of love. And I absolutely love the way that is mentioned, I guess, in here. I really like it. I love it, because for me, peace is love. But for me, it's also about self-love. I remember when I sought the peace, when I needed peace in my life, I felt like this havoc, this chaos in my world, and I needed to leave it. I needed to let it out. I needed to get rid of all that garbage, and I needed that self-love. That was part of it. So that's why I love that. Peace is about love. That's what resonated to me. So I hope that answers your question from my end. How about yours, Anita?
Well, I'd like to get back to your quote. Let's talk about your quote a little bit longer, because I wanted to actually take it apart.
Okay, let me share it
in a very thoughtful and loving way, and then we'll talk about the definition that I received later on once I'm done. So when we look at your quote here, peace is not the absence of power. The peace is not. When we look at, when I mean to take it apart, I like to take things apart because every word has power. Every word is designed. Think about it. Once upon a time, we did not actually have specific words. It was, when I'm not talking about as a civilization, I'm saying humans were born, we had to communicate. There was hieroglyphics, pictures on the walls, and then suddenly it's like, let's create words. And so when we think about these things, I think we often take advantage or take for granted that we have these incredible words in our library, in our mind. And all we have to do is choose these words to deliver the message in the way that I think people should hear it to understand the power of it. That makes sense. So you can say something very standardly and even say this quote in a very standard way.
Mm-hmm.
But if you really understood the meaning behind it and to have the belief within it, I think it'll really grow you. So that peace is not the absence of power. When we think about what peace is, the fact that it says it's not the absence of power. Okay. Let's look at that. When we think about how we are as human beings, we grow something in our minds as we develop that's called the ego. And ego is a very good thing to have. It's just abused and misused often. And when we learn how to navigate through our life using ego where it's required, and that's a whole nother conversation for another day, but then you actually live a very balanced and healthy life. But when it's misused and overused, you suddenly have this sense of it's good to have self-control, but it's a bad idea to be controlling others and overdoing what is necessary. So when you think about the absence of power, what are they talking about? The absence of controlling someone, the absence of, overdoing something that isn't asked of you, treating somebody where it's not warranted. So it's about the absence of that. And we look about absence of power, without not having it. So if you are a human being and you are a strong woman, as I know Dolly is, and many of you women that are watching it, I know the strong men out there that are watching it. Hello, husband. So when you're all out there in your powerful state of mind, you have to be able to know that when it comes down to having peace, let go.
But not only that, it's and once you find it, because that's for me, my personal experience. Once I found it, I found happiness.
Once you found what?
Peace. I found happiness. I was determined, no matter what, I was going to have peace in my life. I was tired of the chaos. I was tired of the arguments. I was tired of the havoc. I wanted peace. I wanted rest. I wanted tranquility. I wanted quiet. I wanted my meditation time. I wanted to just be able to sit without being judged, without being uncomfortable. And all of a sudden, I was able to create that for me, that space for myself where, in actuality, when I was able to do that, I just found so much happiness and joy in my life that I felt like I was unstoppable. I felt at that time that I was like, oh, wow, this is what I have been missing for a very long time. So peace for me was my personal focus so that I can accomplish what I needed to accomplish and move forward in the following steps.
Yes. And, Sonia asked if it is passive. Hi, Sonia. No.
You do that. No.
Peace might appear passive, but it's an undercover superhero.
Oh, she has a question though. She says, is peace a choice?
Peace is absolutely a choice. Everything that we decide, everything that we do in our existence really requires choice. If we let go and we just let be, we can truly have a sense of peace, but we have to be cognizant of it and have some sense of intention with it. So in terms of passive, I know that it can be viewed as passive, but you have to know that peace is one of the most powerful powers you could ever have.
Absolutely.
Someone like Gandhi, if you watch the story of Gandhi and what he did, obviously I watched it many times, but the thing about him is he won through peace. Yes, there's violence that takes place out there, but he won through peace. His perspective is incredibly strong. And if you create that fabric within your system where it's built with peace as part of the main ingredient, you're going to see that it's okay to not answer everything. When someone says something negative to you, you make a decision towards peace. And I'll give you one example that I know people can relate to. They might know what this is. But let's say you're having an argument with someone, just, nothing heavy, just you're debating back and forth, and it kind of turns into an argument. This is someone that you care about, friend, relative. When you have someone that you actually care about that you're arguing with, there comes a point where you could say to yourself, I'm leaving, I'm done, screw you, I'm out of here, you make no sense, I never want to talk to you again. It happens. You could also make the decision to say, all right, I don't agree with this person, but I choose to stay friends with this person or love this person because I value everything else. This is where peace resides. We're make a decision to shift gears from, I want to make my point, I want to make him or her think I'm right, I want to control how that person thinks. When you let go of that and you go towards the road of peace, you suddenly look and see, oh, you know what? I value this about him. I value this about her. I remember who she is. She doesn't represent all that she's saying right now. I can actually still love her because of all the other things I know that she's capable or he's capable of providing the world and to me. And, it makes it easier. So I never in a million years will ever say that peace is passive. It is absolutely powerful.
I love that.
Great question.
That was very powerful. That statement was very powerful. I also put in the comments that happiness is also a choice, and I think that they go hand in hand.
I think I believe that we, if you can look at us, we're made of 70% water, but I'm going to go with spirits and energy here, that we've got peace and we have happiness always flowing within us. It's always there, but it's cluttered with so much debris of think about the world when it's what's the word? What do I want to say? What's that word? Help me with the word. Where well, when you look at the pollution, I was going to say population. It wasn't population, pollution.
Okay.
The pollution that's running through our veins. If we have these energy veins that have water that's, I'm saying, represented by peace and happiness, it's just congested with a lot of pollution from other people dumping their crap into our souls. So now all you really
and us believing that, and us believing it, because if people could dump all they want, but if you don't let it affect you, you're just like, next. That's me now. It's like, I could hear negative comments here and there, and I'm like, okay, thank you very much. Next. So it's if you choose to even accept what that person is saying and bring into your world, into, the toxicity levels, you got to watch out.
Yeah. If you think that if you know that you've got peace already in your soul, in your system, it's there. If you know that you have happiness, it's there. Then it's no longer a sense of like, I have to find it so much of outside to bring it in. It's about letting things go from inside to reveal that you already had it. It's already within you. And that's where what something like Dolly talked about, she had storms and storms happening in her life. And once it was all cleared, she had to make some strong decisions. She had to do the things she probably never imagined she was ever going to do. And she had to step outside of that comfort zone. Even when the comfort zone was abusive and wrong and awful and bad, it was still a comfort zone she was in for as long as she was. But once she stepped outside of it, I mean, she probably realized, I need to rest, just like I always think about the person who is, physically, think of people who go into a horrible accident, who have broken bones and they're scratched up and bleeding. They need to heal. They need to sit in that hospital or be in that cast or stay in bed rest. They need to heal. They can't just get back up and do a John Wick movie. Okay. They can't go do that in real life. You need to heal your body. Then you can go and do your thing. So in your sense, it's like your emotional bones, if you will, were bruised and broken, and you needed to heal that. And that's why resting was so important. And then look at you now. I can't stop the train, the Dolly train.
Well, I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this. I'll never forget it, because I kept saying, I can't wait for my life to be what I can envision. And I kept saying that. And I started saying, my life is just going to be amazing once this took place. And once I was able to move out on my own, for those of you that don't know, I went through a I was in a 21-year marriage, got divorced, but being able to move out. Hi, Barbara Beckley's here. But be able to move out with my two sons and have my own place. I used to sleep an average of 2 hours a night for months during the chaos. And it was an average literally of 2 hours a night. I was beyond exhausted. But I was so going through the emotions that I couldn't rest even when I tried. So when I was finally able to get out of that and finally move out on my own with my kids, I slept. I mean, it was just like I just couldn't control it, and I slept probably like 12 hours, 10 hours. I just slept and slept and slept, and it felt so good. And just like you're saying, it was about a sense of healing my broken emotions, the
Yeah.
brokenness within me. It was healing, and it felt so good. And then when I felt that sense of tranquility, oh my God, I'm like, wait a minute, I got this now. I'm like, okay, I did that, check. Did that, check. Okay, what else am I gonna do? And it was a sense of like, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah, you did something that was so fantastic that we see in movies that make us yell, like, yeah, in the movie theaters. You got back up and then you walked away like a boss. That is whenever I see those images, and I know nowadays people like laugh about it and there's jokes, but the truth is when you see images like that in movies, even though they're sensationalized just for the sake of, fun,
Sure.
it does relate to how we feel in our hearts. We got fire, man. When you actually get back up and you're like, I'm done, and you do the thing you need to do. Now, honestly, for you, considering what you just said, when you're in a relationship for 1 year and 2 years and 3 years, and let's say you already recognize the problems even before you get married, but you just kind of let it happen. And then you just kind of, because your heart's so big, you just make the excuses and justify, and it's okay. And this is just a moment. And then it just keeps happening. By the time you get to your 20th year, I mean, I feel for you, Dolly. I can imagine that you're pushing for survival in this. And then you finally said, yeah, I won't survive anymore if I'm in this. And then after the 20-year, how many years? You said 22 years, I believe.
Well, 25 years together total.
Okay. Yeah. So, when you get to that point and you leave, better that you did, because the moment you did and you had that rest, just imagine how much you hugged your soul back from all the turmoil. Like, you have all of that was in you, and you let it out. You let yourself sleep. And like I said, now you're a freaking train going through every goal you want to go through. Your missions, we talked about this before, I think in the last show, where, we couldn't find where you had fear in where you want to go next in business and what you want to do. Some people just are like, I don't really think I'm ready to go on stage and talk to 5,000 people. And you're like,
yeah, I can do that. I feel comfortable. I honestly, I can see myself like the female Tony Robbins, or the Latina Oprah. I'm like, I'm ready. Bring it, baby.
yeah, you have no fear, and that's where you get to see something great about you, which I know you say this often. You're happy. You just are.
I am.
You don't have to strive to be happy. You are happy, and things will come to you because you know how to navigate to the next thing. And if it's a pushback, you'll find a way around it anyways, or you'll know that's not the direction, I'll go here. You just always maintain that nice temperature of happiness, that summer temperature,
I like the way you describe that. You're always so colorful. I love that. But that's the reality.
Yeah.
I focused on finding peace in my life. And you know what? For those of you, for the viewers out there, I want to talk to you right now. I want to talk to you specifically right now. If you are in a position, in a role, in a situation, in a difficult dilemma, whatever it may be, an uncomfortable situation, I want you to actually put yourself first for that minute, and imagine what your life would be if that did not exist at that moment, the way that you're experiencing it. If you're unhappy for whatever is taking place in your life, imagine what your life would look like, would be like if that was not the case. That's what I started doing. I started visualizing. I started thinking, well, if I'm unhappy in this area, I wonder how many more people are unhappy around me. And maybe if I start being happy, maybe they start being happy. It's kind of like a sense of being contagious. Bringing that contagious sense to you, to the floor, right? But really start thinking deep down inside, if you're unhappy about something, change it. Change it. Can you change it? What can you do? What can you do to improve it? And I did. I took a big chance. Now it wasn't easy. I would never say it was easy, but it was necessary for me, for my livelihood. And when I found peace, I absolutely found true happiness and no regrets. Absolutely zero regrets.
That's great. That's great. I love that. And when we go back to the wonderful poem quote that you shared, when we talked about the absence of power, if you do have a journal, or if you're in the mood, you want to start writing these things out, the concept of absence of power, maybe take a moment and ask yourself, what does that look like? The absence of power. This is not about when you lose power. That's not how the quote is explaining things. This is about when you don't have someone controlling you or something controlling you. Something is controlling you if you don't have peace. So you're holding on to something, or something is holding on to you. So when you have that absence of power, write down, what does that look like?
Mm-hmm.
Just write it out.
And the presence of love. The presence of love.
Right. The next thing is the presence of love. When you look at the quote, it's peace is really about the absence of power and having the presence of love. Mm-hmm. So what does the presence of love look like? So Dolly, what does the presence of love look like?
Oh my God. I'll tell you this.
We have like 4 hours to talk about this. Dolly's just going to start.
Well, first of all, I can honestly say that I absolutely love myself, and that is no joke. I mean, I'm amazing, okay? And I'm proud of it, and I'm just happy. I am just genuinely happy. But having that love around me, look, I have a great relationship with my children. I have a great relationship with my husband. I have great relationships with people like you, Anita, my co-hosts, my friends, with my clients. I just feel content. It's beyond happiness. I just feel content at all times. And, it doesn't mean, and let me make sure that's clear. It does not mean that I live problem free. It doesn't mean that I don't have bills to come in, that I don't have to work night and day to do what I need to do. It doesn't mean that in any way, shape, or form. What it means is, okay, so that has to be done. No problem. I'll do it. Okay. It means that if a challenge comes and knocks on my door, I'll look at it. I'll answer the door. I'll address it, and I'll close the door. Next. I mean, it's just, I don't let anything get to me. That's what it is. It's just like, sometimes it's just nonsense. Hey, Deborah's on too. But sometimes,
hey, Dad,
honestly, sometimes it's just, we let little things get to us, and they shouldn't. Anita, you mentioned something earlier. You said, like, if someone does something and you have to look at, well, maybe that wasn't the best thing, but I still value this person for this other stuff. What I sometimes say is, do I, and I even recommend to some of my clients, do you love that person more than you hate what they did? Do you love that person more than you hate what they did? And if you can say yes, that means there is room for forgiveness. And if you can forgive that person, it is highly likely that you'll be able to forgive yourself. And I needed to learn how to forgive that person, and I needed to learn how to forgive myself. And when I did, I found freedom.
freedom.
Exactly.
You found George Michael.
I guess I did. Yes, I did.
I
I loved him. But
love him
I
to
mean,
death. Yeah.
so look, I mean, I say to all the viewers, all the listeners that we have out there, be true to you. That's the most important thing, right, Anita? Look,
Right.
you're amazing. I just absolutely adore you. I do. I think you're such a good-hearted
I
individual.
love you, Dolly.
Oh well, I love you too. but you're such a good-hearted individual, and you know what? Anita and I get along so well, everyone, because like we get each other. We're not perfect. We don't always agree on everything.
I don't know about you, but no, I'm kidding.
Well, then again, but my point is just just be you, be genuine, but don't give up on your values. If there's something that makes your stomach turn, and it's not food poisoning, if it makes your stomach turn, that someone does or says, and it's a constant, then you need to look at that. You just need to look at that and determine if this is something or someone that you even want to continue to have in your life.
Right, right, right.
Yeah.
Well, I asked a question on my personal timeline about, how do you say I love you without saying I love you? And the reason why I asked that is I wanted to see where the presence of love actually was. Is it always in the words, I love you? Sometimes it just feels nice to hear someone that you love say, I love you. It's very good. However, there are so many moments within your relationship with relative or your spouse or your children that go missing, that you don't always realize that that was a way that they said that they loved you, and you might be waiting for the words, and you might be holding on to just the words when all the while maybe he came by and like I'll tell you some of the answers. Okay, I'm not going to give my examples, but one is placing a rose on their pillow is really sweet by Christy. Another friend, this was really funny. I'll say this. One is bringing up a cup of coffee. One person said asking them to go get tacos. Okay. Another, and that was from my friend Nikki Wickline. So Nikki, that was really funny. My other friend, I don't know what it is. I've got these really fun friends. My friend Art says warming up the toilet seat for your wife on freezing mornings. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know exactly about that, but I had a friend of mine who then responded that my friend Richard, that he bought his girlfriend a heated seat for Valentine's Day. So like, it's so beyond me on these little things. But here's the thing, in all truth and honesty, all the jokes aside, when you know who your partner is, when you know who your relative is, like, your sister, you know your son, you know who your friends are, you know who I am, when we know who we're working with, and we do things like, real subtle things that express the fact that I hear you, I see you, I'm with you. Sometimes I remember in days where I would be with friends at a nightclub, and there was listening to the music, having a great time. But then you look at one of your friends and their face is showing an expression that says that there's a problem. That's when that one friend in the group might just suddenly say, oh, I've got to go to the bathroom and fix my hair. Come on, come with me.
Yeah, safer.
And they exactly get the safe word, and again, there's 84 comments that came to me and the reason why I'm saying that there's 84 comments, though there's some fun ones, there were so many of them that shared, taking care of somebody, cooking for somebody, holding someone's hand, warm hugs,
I love that.
snuggling, letting you sleep in on the weekends. I mean, there's just a lot of different answers we received, but they came so quickly. The answers arrived easily, that there's all these little ways that you can say I love you, and that's where the presence of love can be, among other places. But I think it's time for us to look at that. Where is the presence of love in our lives? You can ask that in your journal if you're writing anything down. We talked about the absence of power. Let's look at where the presence of love actually is, besides what we normally know about.
We have the viewers here, including your lovely husband, who says scraping the snow off their car.
Yes, he loves me. You love me. He loves me. I know he loves me because he scrapes the ice off of the car. Yes, it means so. Like, there's a lot he does actually that he knows I love him when he does that for me, and he knows how I love him back with the little gestures that we give. Huh?
It is the sweetest things. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but it's just very sweet. And Sonia brought up the acts of service, which is a love language, which is perfect because that's exactly what I was thinking as I'm listening to you, Anita, speak, which is the 5 love languages: the words of affirmation, touch, gifts, right? Acts of service, and there's one more. Which one is it?
I'm just
I,
not.
I'm usually pretty good about
I normally know this, but I don't remember right now.
Yeah, there's 5 love languages. So I know that for me is acts of service and words of affirmation. Is words of affirmation. So that's how I show. Like it could be, like I enjoy cooking. That's one way that I show love to my family. I will make them a nice meal, and my husband, he loves to bring me flowers. So, which I love to receive. So you could keep doing that, Hector, if you're watching me.
Well, let me do this real quick. Let's go through a couple things because I've got some information I'd like to share, and I know that we can still go back to these acts of service because I'm with you 100%. For me, I'll just say this: I'm a words of affirmation person. When I hear someone say something really wonderful and meaningful, like truly. When someone apologizes, it's a genuine apology. I can tell the difference.
Brian just said it is quality time. There you go. Thank you, Brian. Quality time.
I know that this was asked earlier what the definition of peace was. I'd like to make sure I can get that through. I know I got this from vocabulary.com. The definition of peace is a stress-free state of security and calmness that comes when there's no fighting or war, everything coexisting in perfect harmony and freedom. That's what vocabulary.com said about peace. That's just saying that brings me to a peaceful place. Regardless of the circumstances around, I feel peace when I hear that.
Say it again.
I will. Peace is a stress-free state of security and calmness that comes when there's no fighting or war, everything coexisting in perfect harmony and freedom.
I love it.
So now that we know that, and we actually kind of took apart this beautiful quote just so we could understand the magnitude of what that sweet, short quote can impact us. If we really knew what the meaning of all of that was to us, we can appreciate that quote so much more. And I was talking to Dolly, about what are we going to do for the show? We're going to talk today about, peace. I think it's really important, but I wanted to share 3 quotes. We're going to play a game called Who Said That?
Who said that?
Who said that?
All right, viewers, you got to help me out over here.
So this is not me just playing with Dolly. I'll give you guys a little, like maybe about a minute, maybe 60 seconds. And then I'll give the answer. Okay. So this is me. I'm going to share a quote with you and you've got to try to get an idea of who said that. And those of you that are watching, don't you dare look at your phones and try to find it out. You have to think with your beautiful noodle in between your ears.
Come on, guys. Whoever gets the answer first. We should give a prize.
Yeah, I didn't really think about that, but we will come up with a prize and we'll get something over to you if you get it right. Whoever said it first, but you can't cheat. No cheating is allowed.
No cheating allowed.
Okay. Here's the first quote.
Who said it?
Who said it? Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that.
I've heard this one before.
I'll say it again. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that.
Is it Maya Angelou?
I should wait for 60 seconds, shouldn't I? I'll say this. Your answer is,
damn. Oops, it was my cap for my water. Who knows that? Mother Teresa? I'm saying Mother Teresa. Read it one more time, please.
And the final reading of the quote goes like this. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that.
Martin Luther King.
My husband wants to win a prize today. Of course he does.
Okay, for a second there, I thought he wrote milk.
My husband. I hope you didn't cheat so you can get some tonight. Did I just say that? I said that. I'm so sorry. I apologize. Okay. Quote number 2. We're moving on. Okay, here we go.
Hey, what's
This is why you should be watching the show. He just messes me up. Okay.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Presence of love, people. Presence of love.
Hey, it's all about
Acts of service. All right.
Yes.
The winner, Brian Myers. Okay, here we go. The next quote is.
Yeah, but did you hear what I said though? I thought he wrote milk at first.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he just caught that because he goes milk, LOL.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Okay.
Anywho,
The next quote is, an eye for an eye will only make the whole world blind. And Brian Myers cannot answer the question. He's done.
An eye for an eye can only make the world blind.
An eye for an eye will only make the whole world blind.
I have no idea. Come on, anyone. Come on. Who knows the answer to that?
Boom, boom. I don't even know how long that wait a minute. So nobody answered the question.
No, I have no idea.
An eye for an eye will only make the whole world blind is Mahatma Gandhi.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, no.
That came from the Man of Peace.
Man of Peace.
Okay, and the last quote that we have for the day, again, sorry, Brian, you already won. We can only give, well, anyway, you already won. So the third quote, sorry, Dolly, I did not know. This was
I didn't say anything.
I don't think we need to. So
yeah.
the third quote goes like this. When the power of love overcomes the love of power, the world will know peace. I'll say it again. When the power of love overcomes the love of power, the world will know peace.
Bapu?
Yeah, don't listen to my husband. Brian,
Mr. Myers.
I'm going to talk to him like, the people in the South, in the country, they call him Bran. Bran.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's let him go. So when the power of love overcomes the love of power, the world will know peace. Sonia did get that correct. Maybe, you know what, her thing could have been delayed. She said, is that one Gandhi, which is the second one. And you know what? We'll give it to Sonia. We'll make her a win.
And Sonia just answered Hendrix. Jim Hendrix.
Well, you know what? Because Sonia got that one, we're going to give Jimi Hendrix to Jen Healy. Ding, 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 ding. And one for Sonia because she got the second one. Sonia, yay! Ding, 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 ding. That was fun.
We need a cowbell.
Gentlemen.
We need a cowbell.
I'll talk to Christy about that, our guest last week. Cowbell, girl. That just made it happen. All right.
Yep.
So I've got another game, another one, but it's a short one. This is an interesting one. I don't know if anyone will have the answer.
If you want to play, give me some love. Send me some hearts.
Yeah. I forgot all about those fun things. I love them.
Corazón.
So the next one is this real easy one, just kind of a more of I don't even know if you'd have the answer because this involves numbers, but I just want to have,
I like numbers.
I want to have she said don't start with the cowbell. The little game is, did you know? It's a little trivia. It's not too in depth. This is just about, I was curious, to see how many times peace was in the Bible. And I went through the King James Version. I literally did not go through it. I
was just going to say, wait a minute. You actually counted the words?
No, I didn't. I just said, like, I didn't actually find out on my own manually. This is available online. So I just looked it up. So how many times peace is in the Bible? Do you have an idea? Do you want to give like a ballpark idea?
I'm going to say 3,000 times.
Oh, that sounds so, wouldn't that be nice?
It would be amazing.
Yeah. Reality is that peace is in the Bible 420 times. Okay.
How much did I say? 3,000?
No. You said 3,000. Yes.
3,000. So I was off by.
That's Iron Man. That's Iron Man. We love him 3,000. Love is Iron Man.
3,000. Yes.
So peace in the Bible, in the King James Version, peace is in the Bible 420 times. In the same version, King James Version, love is in the Bible 310 times.
A lot less.
Still,
at least.
Hate. You know how many times hate is in the Bible?
I'm afraid.
Don't be afraid.
600.
87 times.
Oh, that's good. I thought for a second there I was getting higher. Okay.
So now take a look at that. Let's just look at those numbers again.
Okay.
Hate is in the Bible 87 times. Love is in the Bible 310 times. And peace is in the Bible 420 times. So
nice.
Maybe we can kind of redirect our feelings from this feeling of hate whenever we have those moments, and find ways, because there's so many opportunities to see love and peace in the Bible. Just one book. I have to look at all the other books out there to see what they say there. But at least this is what I found for today's show.
If I could share this, if you total up all the numbers, it comes out to 817. So 87 being hate is almost at 10%, which means love and peace, people, is 90. No, the other way.
Thank you. I'm like, what am I doing?
I don't know what you're doing. You're doing sign language here. So which means that love and peace shows up in the Bible in the King James Version roughly 90% of the time. Yay!
So if you knew this now, you take this little sweet knowledge that's always been there since the beginning of these writings, okay?
Yep.
It's always been there. It's just a little message for you to kind of keep that more in your heart and make that more of the contribution you want to have into the world that you're in. So I thought that was pretty cool, and I wanted to get that shared with you. I do have something else I'll share, but I wanted to, give you.
Well, Jen says love and peace always wins. And absolutely, Jen, it does. In fact, the highest vibration is love.
What do you mean by that when you say that the highest vibration is love?
You know what? Okay, so I'm sure. Okay, so we're all energy. Everything that surrounds us is energy. And when you look at different things, for lack of a better word, different emotions, they each are categorized with different vibrations. So when it comes to like shame, for example, is one of the lowest vibrations. And then there's also hate, there's also anger, there's also guilt. These are on the very low spectrum of vibration. When it comes to love, when it comes to joy, when it comes, just to the happiness that one feels, it is in a higher vibration. The energy is higher. It is just the sense of concentration that exists.
You can feel that without even knowing the data and the statistics, which is really important though, because when you can measure it, then it really holds true. It kind of gives you that scientific, okay, this is it. This is the fact. But you can feel it. You can feel that when you love someone, how that makes you feel. We know that when you have happiness and you laugh, scientifically speaking, it's an endorphin flood that takes place in your body that actually heals your body in so many ways. Laughter is such a medicine people don't know about. And these are things, why are we talking about all these different things, by the way? We're talking about love, we're talking about, power, we're talking about, it's all leading to the concept of peace. That these are like relatives of peace in the family, the family of peace.
Right. They come together.
Yeah. I mean, this is what helps us bring to our place. When we sit there and we think, I just want peace of mind. The truth is first of all, you have your mind and you have your peace, But everything else that's getting in the way, you're not giving the service, the acts of service to let those things go.
But again, and it's because it really depends on the situation that the individual may be experiencing at the time. If they have chaos in their life, that's what they're feeling, that's what they're thinking. Until they're ready to let it go, they're not going to find the peace. And I think it was Sonia that asked if that was a choice, and it absolutely is a choice. If you want to be happy, decide that you want to be happy. If you want peace in your life, make that your ultimate goal. Because I promise you, if you find peace, you'll find happiness. With happiness, you'll find freedom. And once you're free, you're unstoppable.
Love it. I love it. I love it. Well, we've got a few more minutes left. So, ladies and gentlemen, you need to let us know how you feel about what you've heard so far. If there's topics that you want to hear more of, let us know. We have been through, 2 years now doing a show, and I have to ask you, Dolly, do you love having conversations at night? We haven't done morning, and I don't know if I really even want to go there. Late afternoon, and now we're doing evening. You like that? What did you say?
I don't want to do the morning. I'm whining. I don't want to do the morning. I am like, no. I that means I have to put my face on.
Yeah. Well, I think the whole world does the morning. There's a lot of podcasts in the morning, and it's like, but I have to admit, I'm a night owl. I always enjoyed the night. I do. I've learned to adapt to being. You have to, and you have to. The world works, at least our nation, the way it is. Get up in the morning and go to work. That's what I followed. But having the ability to work from home, work remotely, and especially now quarantine, people are probably realizing it. Some people are probably finding it very uncomfortable because they might be extroverts that love to be out and they want to do things and they want to sell and they want to be out there. And there's others that are perfectly fine being at home. And for me, I'm kind of a combination depending on the situation. I like being at home for specific things and I like being out for other things. But I've been enjoying doing this. This is our second show at night, right? Was the first one?
The second show at night, and it's been good. I enjoy it, and I hope our viewers are enjoying it as well. Hey, Anita, if you don't mind, there is something that I'm doing, and it actually expires on Friday, and I would like to remind any of our listeners that are maybe interested in this.
Do that, and then if I don't know if you have any commercial to share, but do that, and then when we come back before it's over, I'll
let's throw the commercial in, and then we'll come right back. So I will say this. I just love how your commercial is. It's so beautiful. It's so
perfect.
And we've never done this before, but I'm going to do it now because this 2-minute topic I'm going to discuss with you is specific to what I'm doing. So I'm going to put my commercial up next.
I love it. And the thing is the music, I have to be honest with you. I do miss, I mentioned the nightclubs. I miss it. I mean, there's things about it I don't miss. There's things about it I don't miss. But what I do miss is just that elevated feeling with great music and an amazing DJ and the lights and the fun and the laughter and the crazy. And then you just go home and it's not one of those crazy, stupid nights. It's one of those awesome nights with your friends. I miss it. I miss
Absolutely. I miss it too. And I pray that our pandemic will be lifted so that we can have the annual authors gala, so that we can have the music, the food, the drinks, the laughter, the hugs, and just be there celebrating with everyone.
I think I had heard, and I don't know if I'm right, but at least for our state, Illinois, I thought I heard 150 more days, which isn't that like, how many months is that? You do the math.
Oh God, that's 5 more months.
Wait, we're talking about peace here.
No, it's peace, but I wanted to bring this up. So every one of you just bear with me for another minute. So I am giving away two, well, not 4, but 2 of my online course.
What is it? 2 of what?
2 of my online Right to Heal course. I'm giving them away for free. It's a $2,000 value. And what I recommended in order for you to win the chance to win this prize, you need to submit an essay to me at info at rosegoldpublishingllc.com. A simple essay. I don't even care if it's just of 100 words or 200 words. I don't care. It's a simple essay for the opportunity to win my course. A $2,000 value is Right to Heal. Is made up of 7 modules, and it includes 2 bonuses, one of which is my book of how to manifest happiness. Jesus Christ, people, I'm giving it away. It doesn't cost you anything. Send me an essay because I want to give it away. I'm going to be so happy to be able to give it away. But this offer expires on Friday. So I must receive it by Friday. If you want to participate, if you want me to pick your name, then I must receive it, because if I don't receive it, guess what? You ain't going to get it. Simple as that. You're not going to receive it. And this is the only time I'm offering this. At least I don't expect to be doing it again. So if you're interested, I'm going to put my email here again, info at Rosegold Publishing. It will help if I spell it right. publishingllc.com. And the subject line must say why I deserve it. So I want you to tell me on your essay why I should choose you to give you this free $2,000 value program, Right to Heal. Please put it on your subject line, so when I actually search the names, search my emails, I'll be able to find you easily. And I want to give it away. I want to give it away because, you know what? I really, truly believe that there is just too much pain in this world.
You know, it's January, okay? And this is the first of the first month of the year. And you've already experienced so many things in your life. And you had some reflections over 2020. This is not about the year. This is about you in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And you have these reflections. There are the things that were victorious in your world, and there's things that are struggling in your world. So when you have the struggles, things that are emotional struggles, what Dolly was talking about, you should take advantage of it. I'm just kind of supporting her, because I think that there's folks that are grown men and women here who are suffering on the inside. And you might even be in a really good place, but there might be one thing that has happened in your life that has affected you so much. You know, the word is trigger. People get triggered now. But these are the things that cause you to feel different. Your energy vibration that they talk about goes down.
Mm-hmm.
And go to those plummeted places. Why should you wait till something worse happens for you to then start saying to yourself, I need to go see a doctor. I need to go see maybe you don't need to see any of those people. I'm not trying to say that they're wrong. There's a purpose for them. But what if you can avoid that? What if the preventative measure is writing so that you can heal? What if it's all within you? See, to me,
sorry, I lost you there for a second.
I'm right here.
I'm sorry, I hit you.
I'm right here. It's okay. But anyway, I just wanted to promote what she's doing. I think that if you have a chance to do something like that, then you should take the opportunity instead of, sometimes people they choose to spend their money wherever they want to, and they have that right. But what if you are spending it on things that only perpetuate a problem or really neglect the problem, when you can actually put your investment into something that, I mean, my gosh, the investment's free. So if you can get it,
you spend 20 minutes of your time, just write to me why you deserve to get this. I don't know your story. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm giving it away. So And I want to,
1 minute left, darling. Do you mind if we go a little over? Are you okay with that?
no, go ahead.
Was
I'm,
there anything where you were going to finish saying something? I know that you were.
I'm totally good. Go ahead.
Okay, we'll make sure.
If anyone has any comments, I just want to say, try out. You don't know. I've received a few. But there's still time. So we have till Friday.
You have to Friday.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I wanted to leave all of you with this little bit I wrote. I don't know, maybe 20 minutes before the show was going to start. I had a thought. I wanted to share it to everybody because I know, like I just said, we're in the beginning of the year. We just had a year that was really difficult. And I think there may have been more people than we can imagine that didn't experience peace in their heart. And maybe now you are in a place where you'd like to have more peace in your heart. And, we are filled with peace. It's just loaded with a lot of debris. And we just need to be able to find where it is within our system. And I want to help you find that. So I put this little thing together, a little writing together. This will be on Dolly's, the magazine that she has, the Dolly magazine. Isn't that right? Did I say it right?
Dolly the magazine.
Dolly the magazine. That's right. I apologize. No, you're Dolly, and then you have a magazine. It's great. So I'm going to read this to you. I just wrote this, so bear with me, but this is how it goes. The title of it is The Presence of Peace, but we're spelling the word presence as if it's gifts. So it's a presence of peace. Let go of the wars outside of yourself for a moment and begin to identify and support your peace within. You are exactly where you're meant to be. You're given infinite possibilities and opportunities, personalized only for you by the grace of the Almighty since you were born. All the storms of your past have built you into the person you are today. You have peace already within you. It's found in all the moments where you've reached victory. Victory isn't only found at the end of a challenge or a struggle, my friends. Look deeper. Victory occurs within your decisions and actions in the midst of your battles. When a lesson is learned, when a blessing is recognized, the turns you take, the adjustments you make, the moments you say, I know now what I don't want in my life, the times we hold on an extra second to save someone or something, and when we let go to save ourselves. Victory is also within your tears, as you permit your emotional levees to break what you held in your heart for decades. Peace follows the flow. You are a victorious person with powers to be used for good. Train on those so you not only use them well, but so well that they bless the world with the kind of love that is welcomed in every heart you touch. In times where storms are strong, remember to look for heroes to inspire you. Reach for the hero that resides in you and refocus your direction to build an emotional Pangea of peace in your inner world. Harness your mind power to master your universe, and peace will know you affectionately by your first name.
Oh, I love that, Anita.
There was a ding.
Yeah, that's my son.
Okay, so listen to how cool this is because I have goosebumps. Okay, my mom has told me this superstitious tradition that I'm still carrying through me, and it's with my family. Okay, whenever you say something and it's true, something goes off, a ding, the microwave, a knock, something happens, and I know if my husband's watching it all, I said what I said. I said, harness your mind power to master your universe. And the ding just happened and it just got me. So
it was the perfect time.
It was. Could have been a little love note too.
That was actually very pretty. You wrote that. You wrote that.
I had a moment and I was really thinking about, I was just thinking about the place that we're in today and what we've been in for a while. And the fact that we're all brothers and sisters here on this planet. And that's what my mom taught me, that we're all family. We're all family, whether we like it or not.
Yep.
And I want you to know where peace really is because everyone's looking out there. And while there's things that have to be handled out there, you got to return back to within. My company's name is Interscope 365. That means look within 365 days of the year, no matter what happens out there. Go back to looking within. So I just wanted to put something together and share that message with you all.
No, I really appreciate you for doing that. That was beautiful, beautifully written.
Thanks.
And you know what? For those of you that don't know, Anita has written already several books. She's as an author, and she continues to write, and she has quite a bit that she's going to be working on in the very near future. So I can't wait for those new releases to come out as well. But I really appreciate you doing what you did, and you're absolutely right. And there's too much going on in the world today, and we need to come together.
Yeah,
it's time for us to make that decision to come together and stop hating on each other. We need to learn to love again. We need to learn to be there for each other and to embrace each other. So with that, my darling friends, family and friends and viewers and my amazing co-host.
I'm not doing a heart very well.
With that, I say good night, everyone. Thank you so very much for joining us again tonight at the DNA Authority. We will see you next week.
Bye.